business building tool, and that's call blasts. Now, I know that when I first heard about call blasts, my blood went cold. I absolutely hate the phone. But I'm really excited to have three lovely guests here tonight that have made it so much easier for me, and I know a lot of other people. So we're going to be hearing from them very shortly. So for those of you that don't know me, my name's Kerry, and I'm an STL in the business. I'm busy mama to Finn and Maya, who's 9 and 6. And just a very brief background. So I used to work in the corporate world, absolutely loved my job. Then kids came, life changed, blah, blah, blah. So about 6 years ago, we went to our first UW weekend away to Amsterdam, which is when I also met one of my besties, Hannah. And that is where I had my brightest light bulb siren blasting moment, where I realised that I had been using lack of time and my children as my excuse not to do the business rather than my reason for doing it. And it was a huge wake-up call for me. So I'd been doing that for far too long, and things began to change. So I left my job, set up my own childcare company so that I could be at home for the final year of my kids. And I started working UW much more in my spare time. And then in October 2019, I had a brainwave. I was going to close my childcare business and I was going to do UW full-time, flexibly around the kids. And I was really excited. I was all going for it. Absolutely loved it. And then boom, a few short months later, we went into lockdown. Woohoo! And that took away all human contact. Also, I felt the whams that I absolutely loved. I was a regular whammer. I was in Wix 3 times a week, loving it. And neighbour letters, which I just got my head round. I just started getting out of the car rather than just phoning Hannah for a chat or Jogger for a chat or anyone for a chat rather than posting those neighbour letters. And so, yeah, so what was I going to do? And I panicked. I was like, holy crap, what am I going to do? I was really lucky at that point, and I heard someone mention that Lindsay had set up an 11 o'clock call blast. So I got in contact and I joined my first one. Every bone in my body screamed, no, I hate the phone. I am bluest of blue, love chatting to people, but put me with a telephone, I shake, I quiver, and I still do a year later. But I had a pile of WAM forms and I had no other option but to pick up the phone. So did I pick the phone up straight away? No. Yes, I went on the call blasts, and as Kim will be laughing right now, knew, I would say what I was going to do. I was going to make 10 calls, I was going to do this, I was going to do that. Then I turned my camera off, I plucked my eyebrows, I did the washing, I shaved my legs, I sorted out my shoe cupboard, I painted my nails, I did everything but pick up the phone. But I was on the 11 o'clocks regularly, and every day I just started making a few more calls, and just having those friendly faces made a massive difference. So regular accountability and consistent effort started to make a difference, and I started to make use of all those forms that had been decorating my desk and the walls for so long. Fast forward a year later, and I have made, first and foremost, the most amazing group of friends, and like just support and just the friends and the friendships that we've made cross team. I've got regular accountability, and I've continued to grow my business through the most bizarre year in history. And as I say, do I love the phone now? No, I don't. Still hate it, but I make calls every day consistently. And without the call blast, I could have easily swooped into depression and been telling a totally different story right now. So, as I say, that's my little story about call blasts. But as I said, I've got 3 of the 11 o'clock lovelies on the call to tell us a little bit more about their journey and how the regular call blasts have helped them. So firstly, I'm going to go to the lovely Kim. Hi, Kim. Do you want to unmute yourself for me? Amazing, thank you. Hello, my darling. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good.
You made me laugh about and she's not lying either. We'd ask her, what's she doing today? Shaving her legs or her nails or plucking her brows?
It was great. I did it every day, consistently.
Yeah.
So Kim, for you, can you tell us what the cool blasts have meant for you over the last year?
A lot of what you've said. I mean, I've been doing blasts with Lindsay probably way before the pandemic, but very, very sparsely. We just every now and then say we'd do it, and we kind of called it, cool blasts. But for me, the massive thing is accountability. Like you've said, it's very, very easy when you're working for yourself to get sidetracked by, you can lose an hour on Facebook and have achieved nothing, or Instagram. So it was that logging in, and it kept you focused. So for me, during part of it, we was also doing 3 o'clocks as well. So it was, I knew every day I was at least going to be doing 2 hours touching my business. But like what Kerry said, it's been fun. Like, we've built friendships now. I mean, Morag, Shelley I met when we went to Epsom. But how many of us on there? 30, and I've probably only met 5 of them. But I feel like we speak I feel like you're my colleagues, that we all sit doing a virtual office. And that, because I was finding sitting here in my office on my own was very lonely. It was like a call centre for one. And just that smiley faces, it makes a huge difference. It does. And by logging on every day, you're only helping yourself, because you're building your own business as well.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree with that. So can you tell us a bit about your journey over the last year with Cool Blasts? Has it all gone smoothly?
No, and very much like you, I'm a whammer. I hate the phones, and I would probably do at least a week of whams a month, which I could ride off those wham forms for the whole month and build a business. I would never phone the wham forms up after the event, because I hate picking the phone up. So again, I didn't have a pile. I was good enough to have them in the system already. So and there's people I've met 3-4 years ago that I'd never even picked the phone up. But going on it every day, it just is consistent, and it makes it a habit. So just doing it, I'm not really scared of it anymore. It's just part of 11 o'clock, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
And we all find, I think we all say that we try not to book appointments around 11 o'clock, because we actually don't want to miss it, because that is part of our building a business. So yeah, it's definitely. But did I hate it? Have I had wobbles? Yeah, along the way. And have I also avoided it and broke that habit? Yeah. And then it's really hard to get back into that habit again, isn't it? I had a wobble in the business, I think about September, not really because of the business, just because of the pandemic. I was just like, is this me sitting in this white room every day on my own? As you girls know, because actually the cross team, I had a very bad wobble. And one day I said, I'm not even making calls. And I didn't make calls. I just logged on to see smiley faces. And both Hannah and Kerry, who aren't in my team, messaged me privately. And that is, I think, what it's created, isn't it? That cross team bond that we've all got now.
Yeah.
And you do feel like you work colleagues, don't you? That's the really big thing. And I think you're not on your own, because we are used to getting out there and seeing people.
Yeah, and I think this business can be lonely. And I think for everybody, like regardless of pandemic or at any time, I think you are working on your own. So just to have that team support and that cross team support and reaching out does make a difference, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, thank you. So it's not just wham forms that you do on the Cool Blast, is it? Who else do you call, and what else do you do?
No, I do. I've got all of my wham contacts in my system now. I work through my task list, so there will be wham forms that might have said call me in 6 months, so I'll be working through my task list. But I touch base with customers, and I do a lot of bill reviews. They're time consuming, but they're very good, because you're touching base and constantly building that relationship with your customers. And on the back of that, you're then getting referrals. So that, I mean, I know a lot of people don't do it. And I know a lot of people on the 11 o'clock lovelies have said they've had a lot of churning, losing customers because they don't do it. But it's definitely worth it, because I had 7 customers last month, and 6 of those were referrals. And that's probably my most in one month. And that is me just doing bill reviews with my customers, just reminding them that we're here, really, and we're giving them the service that we've promised them.
Yeah, and I think that's really important for everybody in the business, isn't it? Right, regardless whether you're old or new, just put a bill review in the diary for your customers. Like when you get your confirmation email that comes through saying you've signed up a customer, it will say the end fixed date. So
Yeah.
I always just put a date in my diary. And again, that just gives you more of a pipeline to just get back in contact.
And you're just also, it's time consuming because you're having a chat with them as well. It's not just you want an appointment, no, as it were. But it's, I try and touch base with 2 or 3 customers a day. It doesn't always happen, but I will put my bill review dates in for the beginning of the month, knowing that you've got that whole month before their tariff runs out. So if the week goes not to plan, and I would say I'd probably get a 97% ratio of customers staying and refixing, which means you've confirmed them for another year. Because I'm not doing this to build my customer base to not get my residual. If they stay again, year after year, that's when our residual is kicking in, and we're getting the referrals as well.
Yeah, really good point. Thank you for that. So just finally from you, very quickly, why would you suggest to someone to join a regular Call Blast who hasn't already?
Because we also get drunk on a Friday night sometimes.
Yes, we do.
We've had quite a few virtual parties. No, all jokes aside. Like I said, it is like Kerry said, I think I love doing WAMs because I'm on a stand with someone and we're always having a laugh. And if you're a people's person, it is very hard right now when we are indoors. So it does feel like a virtual office. We'll always have a bit of a natter. Someone always has to rein us back in, us women, because we are getting sidetracked from actually doing the work. But it's the friendships that we've all built now. Like I said, I speak to the 11 o'clock more than I speak to my friends and family. Just as well, the cross team. I think with the cross team, Hannah's team might have a very different culture than our team. So it's just the constant ideas being given, aren't they, as well? And I think whereas we didn't really get that before, did we? Because everyone was doing their own team meetings. We're getting a little bit of everything. So you're just constantly, you pick something up from a different team that you really resonate with. So I just think that really, really helped me as well, just listening to different people's views. But yeah, it's more than anything, we just have fun now. It's not, I don't see it a chore at all. And this business doesn't seem like a business. It's just, I love it because of what it does create.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
So you've got to do it because I think the biggest bit is the accountability and the consistency of doing it and making it a habit.
Fabulous.
Even if you can only do half an hour and you can't do the full hour or 15 minutes, you're touching your business every day, aren't you?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Thank you so much, Kim. Thank you for giving up your evening. Really appreciate it. Now over to Morag. Hello, my love.
Hello.
Evening. So straight into it. So what made you just decide to join a regular Call Blast?
Do you know, I was trying to think about this, and it must have been early into the lockdown. I'm on another group, not as consistent as I was, just on Facebook, touching in every day. But one of the other ladies on there reached out and said, "Why don't you come on?" I felt a bit of an outsider, but when I went on, I realised, there was various different people's, and that was kind of why I did, because I wanted to keep something going, but didn't really know how, because like you say, just kind of on your own and no one else to bounce off. So yeah, as soon as I started, that was it, and straight away just kept on putting those 11 o'clock times in my diary, because I knew that if I didn't, then I'd either just dodge it or not do anything.
So true. So true. And do you do, like, because what I love doing on a Sunday night, which I know a lot of people do, is blocking out times in your diary when you're going to do it, and it's just nice to have 11 o'clock lovelies, 11 o'clock lovelies, 11 o'clock lovelies.
I put it as a repeat in my diary, and like I'd use my phone diary, so whatever I've got, I just put it as repeat, so it's there straight away. And yeah, if somebody if that's the appointment time slot, then yeah, but I just know if it's taken by something else, I'm less likely to do anything else later on.
Perfect, thank you. So secondly, you've kind of already touched on this anyway, but did you know anybody when you joined these blasts, and did you find it easy, like coming into with new people, not knowing anybody?
I didn't know anybody. I think there was probably a couple of people that I knew of. There's certain people maybe seen on stage or talking or interviewed or anything like that, but I didn't know anybody. And yeah, it was make you feel so welcome as well. I've always been like, I'm like an orphan, bit of a history there, but I've always gone to different people's team meetings and things like that because I've not had that. So I've been used to just having to, you know, get out there and just go and join somebody else's, you know, meeting and just going for it. But yeah, no, I found it so easy because we're on for a little bit. Initially when we first started, we did go away, then come back, but then obviously it then started, well, let's just keep things on. And so you kind of know that somebody's almost watching you, but nobody's watching you occasionally.
Yeah, sometimes when somebody takes photos of you eating.
Or like this.
Yeah, send me off.
Yeah, but yeah, no, and occasionally like new people are popping in and out, as you know, and yeah, I think they are made more than welcome. But it's, I think you and Kim touched on it. It's the consistency, you know. So it's, you might feel, oh, everybody knows everybody, but the more obviously you do it, then the more it's down to accountability for your own business.
Yeah, exactly. So would you say that's like the most thing that the Cool Blasts have helped you with over the last year, sort of keeping your business going?
Definitely. Just like on a daily basis, maybe not so much at weekends still, but you know, it's more for the family side of things. But yeah, just kept it going. And then as well, I think as well, when I first started, I just wanted to see how many people I can get in contact with. You know, it's almost like a competition against myself, you know, to wanted to make sure that I made the most of that. If it was the hour, right, focus and just get on with it, and you know, shut the door and try not be distracted, block everybody else out. So yeah.
Yeah, because you and I, when we did the 100, we decided one week to do it. We needed to speak to 100 people, and it was like, we need to do it, we need to do it, we need to do it, as we got to a Friday. So it's that accountability, isn't it?
Yeah, because when you break it down, you think, well, actually, you can do it. And then when I look at my diary, I think, I've not really done as much this week. And I know it's because I've been faffing about and dodging, doing something different. Or I've not been on that specific Cold Blast, because then I know I don't do it. But like Kim mentioned, sometimes we do like one at 3 o'clock, more when the kids were at school, because that was an easier time.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's been handy. So if I don't do it one, then it's putting something else another. So yeah.
Perfect, thank you. And just lastly, can you give us a top tip for anyone thinking about joining a blast?
Just do it. I mean, I know it's sort of, was that like a cliche or just as they say, but I think it's asking yourself, well, why not? Why not give it a go? See how it works out, but give it a good while of doing it consistently before you decide whether it's something that you like or you don't like, or you prefer to do yourself, or perhaps maybe there's another group, because I think there are lots of different Cold Blast groups around. It's just finding different ones. I actually have a couple of other ones in my diary, but I never go to them because just the way things work out, I just stick with the one that works for me. But you've got to give it a go, and you know, do it more than once or twice or 3 times. Do it a good few times to know if it's something that you think works for you, because it's only about yourself. Nobody's questioning you what you are or aren't doing. But you know, if you are doing something else, just have a laugh at it, whether it's shaving the legs or something else. Yeah. So but yeah, no, give it a go, because then you won't know otherwise whether it's going to work for you or not, or if it's going to help us build your business or not.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And again, thank you for giving up your evening this evening. Really appreciate it.
It's good to see you. Thank you.
And lastly, we've got Louise.
Hello.
Hello, my darling. How are you?
Very well, thank you. You?
Yes, good, thank you. Fabulous. Right. So, Louise, why would you recommend Cool Blasts to people?
Very similar to what Kim and Rory touched on. It's just helps, for me personally, keep me on track, and it gives me that 1 hour of activity. Even if I don't do anything else in the day, I know I've done something, and it just keeps me consistent and makes me accountable. I've also really enjoyed the kind of cross-team networking, you know, with all of you. I met you, Kerry, at WAMS, but I think most of the others I've never met, seen on stage and things like that. So it's just been great to cross-network with so many people that I've yet to meet in person.
Yeah, we all do have legs.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, at the beginning of the lockdown one, it's been lonely. You know, I've thrown myself, I have to say, straight into what I could do during lockdown, but it's been lonely with the fact there's been no face-to-face events, there's been no WAMs, no neighbour letters. So when you're doing it by yourself, it's tougher, it's much tougher, and you're harder on yourself as well, I think. And the fact that you're with a group of like-minded women just all tackling the same thing, it doesn't really matter what the outcome is, you're just doing the activity.
Yeah, no, exactly. Totally agree. Thank you. And so over the last few months, over the last year, how have they helped you personally?
So it's taken, I think, a lot of the pressure off in a way. You know, I'd lock myself away and I'd try and tackle this huge, I have to say, it was a huge list, or not list, wodge of WAM forms that I had no structure or organization to at all. And to be honest, if it wasn't for lockdown, I probably would never have contacted these people. I'd go to WAMs or do neighbour letters. I'd achieve the appointments, I'd get the appointments done, but I never picked up the phone to all these WAMs. So if anything, it's given me a great sense of achievement and a relief that I have got some structure and order in place, if nothing else. So yeah, and also, you know, I can set myself my own goals when I'm on the call blast. You know, it's not a competition. Nobody's setting your own. You set yourself aside a time of whatever it is you want to do, whether that be doing emails or putting off those niggly things that you need to get done for your UW business, or picking up the phone. Is just that accountability to get stuff done, and also learning so much from others as well.
Yeah.
And just blocking the time out in your diary as well, that you know, you could easily, especially with the homeschooling, you could easily let that drift. But if you just block it out, even if you can only jump on for the last half an hour, it's something that you've done that you wouldn't have done otherwise.
Yeah, so that leads me on to the next question. So do you attend the 11 o'clocks regularly, or has it helped in any other way?
I think I was really good, and I've lost all sense of track of time at the moment. I know this year I've not been so good because of homeschooling. So one of my children, I need to assist with homeschooling in the morning. So it upsets the 11 o'clock lovely's attendance for me. So no, I don't attend every day. I try and do it as much as I can now that they're back at school. It'd definitely be going in the calendar. But what it's done for me is the fact, if I can't attend at 11 o'clock, I'm itching to do some activity, and I will do it, whether it's solo or with your lovely self. Yeah, it's like as if I'm missing something now if I haven't done it. It's that passion that's formed, and now I need to keep doing it, which is great, because I used to hate picking up the phone.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think that's really important for everybody who's on this call, sitting there thinking, but I can't do the 11 o'clock. I can't do 11 o'clock. I work full time. I can't do this. I can't do that time. It's about finding someone else that you can be accountable to. So Louise and I reached out to each other a few months ago, longer than that now, I don't know. So now, if we can't make the 11 o'clocks, or even if we can, but we have an extra like half an hour in the diary, or we just want to do something extra, we just send each other a message. And it's just about having that friendly face on the screen and having a chat. And for me, I like a chat. So it's about breaking up the calling and the fixing. It's having a quick chat and just having someone else to have a bit of a giggle with as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fabulous, thank you. And very quickly, Louise, just lastly, so what is one reason why you think someone should attend the Call Blast?
You know, you've got nothing to lose. Just give it a shot, even if you hate picking up the phone. And I didn't personally like the phone at all, but now, as I said, it's just a habit now, and it just happens naturally. It gets easier. The more often you do something, the easier it becomes. So yeah, just give it a shot.
And I call you my silent assassin. And so I want you to just share, just quickly, what the Call Blasts have meant for you in terms of your results over the last year.
Yeah, so over the last 11, 12 months or so, my activity on the Call Blast has resulted in, from WAM customers, direct WAMers, 22 Daffy Golds. And from those Daffy Gold WAM customers, I've got 10 referrals. So 32 Daffy Gold customers in total, which I've been really chuffed about. And it's helped me get Mexico and other incentives along the way as well.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And again, for those that don't have a massive pile of WAN forms, don't sit there and think, well, I'm not going to be able to get those numbers because I don't have those WAN forms. It's about using that time to make connections and asking your customers that you do have for referrals, or just picking up if you're new to the business, just having conversations with old friends, and just those no agenda calls that are talked about so regularly on other calls and stuff. So it's just about using that time, just having that consistent time in your diary. So thank you very much, everybody there. So just remember that there are call blasts and there's also message blasts. So if the phone does petrify you totally, I know Hannah does regular message blasts that actually Grace has hosted recently, that are absolutely fantastic, and they're just half an hour power slots where you can just send messages and just get ideas from other people who can help just reword things or anything else. It's just about having that. So it's all about accountability, having that friendly face on the screen, and everything else. So obviously these half an hour calls are action based. So there are obviously a number of blasts available. I don't have a list of them because I'm not organised, I'm not green, and I have no idea, and I didn't have time to find them all. So I do know there's one at 11 o'clock every day. I also know that there's one at 6:30 on a Monday and Thursday evening, that's run by Alan Maxwell. There is a message blast every Monday at 12 or Saturday at 10 for 30 minutes. And as I say, they're just a few that I know about. So if you can't make any of them, then reach out and we will find out for you, or ask on the forum or anywhere else. But also reach out to someone else in your team or cross team, or just reach out to somebody and just say, do you fancy holding each other accountable? Let's put half an hour in the diary and just make some calls. So whilst you're all on this call, if you could just pop in your diary just one time out of what I've just said, that you are going to make some calls, and just pop it in your diary. So either 11 o'clock, and it would be really lovely to see some new faces on the 11 o'clocks. We do get work done as well as chat and get drunk, I promise. So fabulous. So yeah, so just to end, I just want to say a massive thank you to Kim, Morag and Louise for joining us tonight. You've all been amazing, and I really, really appreciate your time. And it's lovely to see you all. So thank you.
Thank you, Kerry, as well. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
11.
Thanks, ladies. Yeah, see you in the morning.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
Bye
you.
all. Bye bye.